Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you, 'cause real women don't bitch, no. Real women don't, 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 real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because mental muscle is necessary for implementing successful business strategies. It's time to learn how to beat your business no matter what life throws at you. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we discuss the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. All right now, how's it going on out there? Before I say anything, I just want to say that my heart goes out to any of my listeners who have been affected by the storms. Based on some of the areas where my listeners come from, I know that you're in those places. And so whenever you come back around to this, God willing that you do, please know that the heart and spirit of me is definitely sending a ton of love and light and lifting up a lot of prayers for you all. It's just been crazy. And I know one of the reasons why it's hit me so hard is I was working on getting my way back to Houston. I loved Houston so much. And it just seemed like the timing was always off. And when I renewed my lease at the end of last year, there was hesitation, but my husband and I were on one accord that we would stay here in Atlanta, but I was trying to make my way back to Houston, and so I don't want anybody to suffer at all, but I could have been there too. So I missed Harvey and I missed this storm, and while I am in a place of peace and safety, my heart goes out to everyone. But with all of that being said, I'm actually coming out here with a strong message. I put a post up and it basically just said, to hell with what you want to do. What do you gotta do to make it happen? And I personally just feel like we're in a season where people really need to do what this podcast episode says. Like, real women don't bitch. We get shit done. And I think I'm getting just a tad bit tired of women in business telling me what they really don't want to do because they would, let me say this, is what I'm about to say is true, but it's a cop out for hard work. I don't want to do that because I just need to play to my strengths. It's like, okay, you know what? We became entrepreneurs so that we could do what works best for us. I'm going to be really honest with you guys. If I could just do podcasting and videos all day long, that is all I would ever do. I write some pretty good copy, if I don't say so myself. I've gotten compliments from some heavy hitters in the industry, but I actually don't like writing copy. And I know people don't believe that, especially people that learn how to write copy from me. And even though I've beasted out 3 books in 90 days, 1 book in 30 days, I actually prefer not to do it. But this is what I do know. When people are going to pay for your services, they like to read an outline. I know that sometimes people are in situations where they may not be able to have headphones in their ears while they're on the job so that they can hear everything that's around them, but they can and they do enjoy reading copy. Now, at the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey, well, no matter how much I did or didn't like that, guess what I had to do? I had to write. I wasn't necessarily the best when it came to making graphics, but now I'm pretty good at that shit. Do I want to do it anymore? No. And by the grace of God, I don't have to because I finally hired somebody else to start managing my social media. Can we get a hey? Oh, I know you guys probably been wondering when she gonna stop talking. I'm a one woman show shit. But anywho, I wasn't a one woman show because I couldn't release and relinquish control to anybody else. I've told you guys my story over and over again and where my priorities were. But as soon as I felt the ability to woosah, I passed that ish on, and I have not micromanaged that individual. You need to know that. But anywho, after everything that happened in 2020, so many of you got caught with your pants down. And that's not to say that I skirted away, safely without any dilemmas and I didn't feel a dip. I mean, hell, I launched a live event right before COVID happened and had to make a whole detour based on my calculations and the amount of money I was supposed to make and the amount of women that were supposed to be there. All of that shit changed. Was it still a profitable experience? Yes, but there's a big difference between, throwing a big event for 20 women versus 8. But anyway, bottom line is I do things that I don't want to do every single day. And when I listen to other people in the industry, I listen to mature entrepreneurs talk about the things that they don't necessarily want to do, but they're gonna do in order to make their dream manifest. And you guys know how I am. I talk about it all the time. Building a business takes money and muscle. And where you lack money, you will have to put in more muscle. So you know what? Guess what? I personally, I didn't have the money. I needed to get my stuff back together. I had to, listen, everybody's different. But do you know I save a minimum of 5 days out of the week? Yes, I do. It's different when you're an entrepreneur, when you're an employee and someone can, pull out your money and, save it for you and put it in a 401k. But when you got to be responsible for the money that's coming in and out of your business, a lot of us, we have to be very honest. We are not necessarily the most responsible people. And having an emergency fund, please, that went out the window ever since we left St. Louis. We were struggling and hustling to make it, and it feels good now. I have an automated system. And the thing about it is, some people might be like, oh my God, August, that's scary. I have maximums on how much it can take out, but every day a random amount of money is taken out of my account and transferred into an emergency fund. And you know why I do it like that? Because especially like having kids. You go to the store, you just going to buy tissue. They see M&Ms down there by the register. What do kids do? Oh, I want a toy or whatever it is. They ask for stuff. How many times have you went grocery shopping? You're like, ooh, I think I could add that to the menu. It's so easy to spend more than you intended to. And for those of you all that are addicted to Amazon, I don't need to say anything else. So why not? Why not? $5, $10, $15, whatever it is, I am constantly saving every day. I had to get my shit back together. I had to get my mindset back right. I had to get into something like, wait a minute, I don't have anything for my future. These last several years has all been about getting back on track. And rather than take the money and spend it on hell, I spent it on my future and my children's future. So here's my thing. When I couldn't afford, I'm saying it just like that because I'm so tired of people saying, watch what you say, don't say what you can't afford. Look, when it wasn't in the budget for me to pay someone else to help me, I had to do whatever it took to get her done. I'm excited because I'm about to hire somebody else to start taking on some marketing tasks as well too. It's been a long time coming, but this is what I do know. Even though I didn't do everything well, I did everything I had to do for my business. And you know what? The people that came to me and wanted my help, they weren't bitching and whining about my grammar, whether or not I did or didn't have a comma splice. They weren't critiquing the shit out of my images and analyzing my marketing strategy. They appreciated how genuine and how authentic I was. They appreciated the value that I brought to the conversation when we had real connection calls, and those individuals converted. So I know there's a lot of things in your business that you're not going to want to do. Listen, I'm not talking about starting a podcast if you don't like podcasting. But I'm going to be honest with you. There's some things you need to do that if you don't do it and you say, I'm not going to do it because it's really not me and it's not what I want to do. Well, then you know what? Don't fucking complain when your business doesn't look a certain kind of way. If your business model, if you throve off of having live events and that's where the primary revenue came from, and you say, well, I don't really like, online events. For me, it's got to be in person. Then, oh, well, good luck with that shit. It's different. It's different if you do them sometimes and, maybe you do have a signature live event, but you decide that because of COVID, you're not going to do that anymore. If your business can survive without it and you're like, no, I really just don't like doing the online thing. It's not my flavor. I do group coaching or what. That's different. But how do you think these people that for so long they resisted online events, when COVID took that away from them, who gave a damn what they wanted to do? They were mature and they fucking pivoted. So yeah, I know some of you listening to the episode, there's a lot of you all know. You be like, damn, is August talking about me? I ain't talking about you unless your ass is convicted. I have to remind people of that sometimes. I know I say some really personal shit. Please don't think that you're that fucking important, that you're on my mind when I'm creating the podcast. Unless I say I was speaking to someone or I was speaking to a client and you know that I recently had this conversation with you, then guess what? You still don't feel some kind of way because whatever the hell I'm saying on the podcast, I said that shit to you. But I have to remind people, I'm just out here spitting off the top of the dome, saying whatever I feel Spirit has led me to say. You got people on so many different countries in Africa, and there's people that's in Singapore and Brazil and Argentina and Canada. Y'all, this podcast has been downloaded in over 93 countries the last time I checked. So somebody needs to hear this. So whoever you are that has decided what you will and you won't do, to hell with what you want to do. What do you have to do to get your business off the ground? And it's going to hurt you one way or another. If you're going to pay somebody else to do it, you're going to have to work extra hard to bring in the extra money. Then you're going to be crying, oh my God, I got to work all these hours. This job doesn't appreciate with me. I can't hardly spend time with my family. Look, versus, oh my God, I'm trying to write copy. I seem like I'm always in the office. It's so hard for me to do. It takes forever for me to get it done. I can't spend time with my family. Look, there are going to be seasons in this journey where things are going to feel off balance. It's going to feel like you're not giving adequate attention to certain things. And you know what? To a degree, you may not. To a degree, that may very well be true. But if you could just push through the pain, you will be conditioned. And you will be all right. So I just want to encourage you all. Ask yourself that question. What am I not doing in my business? What is something that someone recommended as an industry standard, as a foundational strategy for typical businesses that I am saying that I don't want to do because, I don't really like it. It is not my strong suit. Then I want you to look at your business and say, if I did this, if I utilized this strategy, if I changed direction, how would it impact my business? And if it would impact your business and cause it to grow exponentially, increase your income, and so on and so forth, then guess what? You probably need to mature the hell up and do what you got to do to make it happen. So guess what? I love you guys, and you need to get your shit together. And if you're having problems with it, guess what? Did you all know that I have a private community? I never promote my private community, or at least I don't very much anymore. But you all should come into the Authentic Collective. and get access to some private training, some special videos and stuff that are only there, and get inside of a community and be around some sisters that's making it happen. As a matter of fact, every Tuesday, we even do co-working sessions online where we, for those of you that have ever done co-working, gone to co-ops and stuff like that, and we are getting shit done together. And we'd love for you to come and get it done with us. So click the link on your respective platform. Matter of fact, reach out to me. I would love to hear what you guys have decided to implement. What was your high moment of conviction? All right? So I love you guys. I'm going to get out of here. Deuces. Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomen.don't bitch.podcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless, signing out. Deuces!
Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in